What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Mr. Movie Review Tuesday. I know it's been a few weeks since I've posted any content on any of my shows. Some of you may know excuse me, that I have been battling a pretty good case of pneumonia. I'd actually been sick for quite some time before I decided to go to the doctor, and then finally at the, I'm not going to say request of my wife, pretty much the ultimatum of my wife, go to the doctor or go to the hospital, I ended up going and found out I had a few different problems going on. So I had to suspend, filming and whatnot, which really sucks because I enjoy doing these videos. I hope those of you out there who watch these videos and excuse me, enjoy these videos. As you can see, I'm still not 100% over it, but I am doing a lot better. So I wanted to make sure, for those of you who may not have known why I haven't posted anything recently, that's why. Secondly, I'd like to give a few quick shout outs if you don't mind. Number one, to my extremely talented sister-in-law Celeste for this painting up here of the TARDIS. For those of you who don't know what this is the Doctor's spaceship from Doctor Who. She did this entire painting for me. Excellent. She did it for me for my birthday about a year ago, and I decided it may not necessarily be movie related, but it's still cool, so I'm putting it up here. Next, my co-worker and longtime friend Nicole for this autograph picture of Mark Shepard. He plays Crowley on Supernatural. She went to a Comic-Con, or excuse me, a Supernatural Con, and she brought that back to me. I think that was maybe about also a year ago. And thirdly, just want to give a quick shout out to you guys. For those of you who responded on my Facebook page when I posted about me not feeling well, a lot of the well wishes you guys sent out and stuff like that, I just want to say I appreciate that. But other than that, let's get started. Today on Mr. Movie Review Tuesday, I'm going to be reviewing Sausage Party. This movie is hysterical. It's definitely not a kids movie. I wouldn't recommend letting anyone under the age of maybe 13 watching this movie. It's vulgar. I mean, it's pretty much anything you would expect out of a Seth Rogen movie. Yeah, it's pretty trashy. I can see why a lot of people got pissed off when they accidentally put the trailer up during that Finding Dory, when Finding Dory was in the theater. I can see why people got a little pissed off about that, because this movie is vulgar as hell. But if you like trash humor, like I like trash humor, you're gonna love this movie. I think probably one of the most twisted things about this movie, though, and spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, there's like this. You know what? I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. You're gonna have to watch this movie to find out how it ends, and find out the shocking thing that happens towards the end of the movie. I was doing a little research on it. Seth Rogen does plan on making a sequel. So I hope he does, because the first one was just completely awesome. But once again, don't watch it with children. I kind of made that minor faux pas and let my son watch part of it. Yeah, he was a little shocked. My wife was watching it with me, and she basically just sat there the whole time with her mouth just kind of looking very scandalized that she was even watching this movie. And she, and she's not a person that she doesn't blush and stuff like that. She watches about as bad stuff as I do, but this movie, wow, this is probably 50 times worse than most any stuff I've ever watched. But overall, it is funny. I have no complaints about this movie. It's just a little word of warning. One of the ending scenes is pretty out there, and hopefully you guys you take my word for it and you go watch this movie, because if you like Seth Rogen movies, if you like trash humor, you're gonna love this movie. I pretty much like almost anything Seth Rogen's ever been in, with the exception of maybe The Interview. That movie to me just didn't go off very well. I don't know what the big controversy was about that one. That one just not one of my favorites. But anything Seth Rogen's in, I'll watch. Mainly because I do like trashy humor. But anyway, yeah, as far as Sausage Party goes, this movie gets a straight up it gets like 5 stars from me because of just how off the wall this movie is. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, at the request of one of my friends, today on the
Mr. Movie Reviews Retro Rewind.
I'm going to be reviewing probably a movie anybody out there has seen a million and one times over, The Breakfast Club. Now, if you haven't seen this movie, shame on you. You should be ashamed of yourself, because this is like the quintessential 80s movie right here. I mean, you have Emilio Estevez, Anthony Michael Hall, Ali Sheedy, Judd Nelson, Molly Ringwald. If you haven't seen this movie, where the hell have you been? Under a rock or something? I thought anybody had seen this movie. This is one of those movies that it's timeless, it's a classic, it never goes out of style. You know, my oldest son, he likes this movie, and he's 17 years old. I've watched this movie ever since I was a kid. So, if you haven't seen The Breakfast Club, once again, shame on you. If you have seen The Breakfast Club, stop this video right now and just go watch it for nostalgia's sake. And then when you're done watching The Breakfast Club, make sure you watch Sausage Party. Make sure you like, share, comment below, give me a thumbs up, all that happy horse stuff. And I'll see you soon. Later.